Hello there. Today I've found this little portion of a book and I figured I wanted to play around with it. So I'm just gonna see what I can make with it. So I think what I'm gonna do first is fold this down like a triangle. I want to try to make something with pockets. So maybe if I fold it this way and then over that way and then over that way. That gives me pockets. All right, I like that. So that's pretty cool. So just over, over, and then over. All right, I like that. Not bad. Let's see what becomes of this if we fold it together or glue it together. Let's try this. So glue that down and then glue this down. Well, I guess I should have glued the very bottom too instead of just the side. The side and the bottom. All right, that'll be better. There. That's better. All right, so then that gives us this pocket and that gives us this pocket. All right, I'm liking that so far. Well, that's really dirty. I need to clean that off. That's kind of gross. All righty, I got a hanky here. Where did my wipes go? I had baby wipes over here too. Oh, you know what? Aha, I have alcohol wipes right in here. I can do that because this has gotten really nasty. Guess I should have done this before I started my video, but that's okay. Ooh, that's coming up easy. All righty. Ah, that worked pretty good. I'm impressed. Even those hard lumpies came off. I found a new trick. That's cool. All righty. That's nothing left on there. I like that. Ha ha. That cleaned that lid out too. Ew, that's kind of nasty now. Ew, that's gross. All right. Let's make sure everything's out of there. Wow, is that sticky? Oh my goodness. All right. Bring my hanky over here. And I'm going to rinse my fingers off now. That's kind of gross. Ugh. Me and my Dawn water. All right, that's better. Alrighty, now let's fix this with my chapstick that's very old, that I've got it marked. That'll work. Ooh, that chapstick is stinky. That's a Burt's Bees one, and when they go bad, they actually go rancid. They just smell really weird. There. Where's that hanky again? There, that's better. All right, that's much better. All right, good, good, good. Now that I got that fixed, let's play with this. All right, I guess I should have glued it in between the pages too. That'll work. Much better. There. All right. I like that. So now, and I'm thinking of, this would be really good to put on, once you decorate it up, you could definitely put it on a scrapbook page or in a journal, or I'll probably make it into a card some way, somehow. So let's see what I can do with this. Alrighty, so I don't really want to cover it because I want them to know it's a book page, but I know what I can do. I have these stencils. Let's just pull one out. That'll work. These came from Amazon, a whole package of them. They're so neat looking. All right, let's get a stippling brush. And what color do I want? pumpkin might be fun. Let's do this orange. Why not? That'll be pretty. All right, let's stencil on it. I felt like doing something kind of different today. And when I picked up the book and I was going to move it aside, then I went, wait a second, do something with the book page. You haven't done that in a while. Ooh, that looks cool. All right, let's do some more up here. That's pretty, I like that. Nice, I like that. Ta-da! Now that's got a nice orange hue to it. I like that. All right. Gonna have to clean that off. But let's get around the edges nice and dark too. Oh, that looks kind of like a giraffe skin now. Giraffe spots. That's pretty cool. Nice easy way to color it. All right, not too shabby. Hey, Mikey, she likes it. Remember that commercial? Alrighty, let's see. I'll have to wipe that off. Clean that off real good later. All right, but in the meantime, I'm done with that. So now, orange. We can decorate this with the orange stuff. We can put something in here and something in here. Let's pull out my orange envelope and see what we've got. I'm thinking maybe I want to put something across the bottom. What do I have in here? What's that? Ooh, yeah. Somebody sent this to me. Christine Ward sent this to me, and look at that. It's so pretty. That would match nice. We can do that and just attach it right here. That's a nice idea. I can fold it back right there, so I know right where the edge is. Good idea. Smart. Got a little tear right here. We can fix that. There. Now we can, whoops, where my scissors are, right there. Let's go ahead and cut this. That's really pretty colors. All right. That's going to be pretty on there. Let's do that. Nice. I like that. That's pretty. Neat, neat, neat. I wonder if I should do another one on here. That would be kind of cool. You know what? I'm going to do that. Why not? Let's do that. So that'll have to go there. And then I got to fold it over to line up here. That's such pretty paper. All right, and now I have to write Christine's name on this side. Christine Ward. All right, there. Then we can use this piece. And I find it, the reason why I'm cutting it that way, right on the fold line, is because for me, I can do this and do it almost perfect every single time. But if I were to open it up and try to cut along that line, I would mess it up. I don't know why. That's just weird, I know. But that's okay. That's part of me. All right, so let's go ahead and line that up. Oops, I guess I should line it up on the other side first. There. Yeah, that's better. Okay. This is coming out pretty. So far, so good. I like that. Now, is that going to come up? Looks like that little corner. Yep, let's make sure this is going to stay down good. That's pretty. I like that. All right, now let's see what we can put on here. Put that over there. That's going to be too big. Oh, I would have I've got a little tassel thing that I made, a paper tassel. I could dangle that. Oop, there's a bow. There's a little gnome. I could put a gnome on there. What else is in here? Little paper chain. I love making these little paper chains. They're so adorable. But that shouldn't even be in here. That should be under blue or green. It looks more green, so let's put it in the green bag. Well, I think I need to make some green stuff. All right, that's a full bag. All right, let's see here. We've got that, but that's definitely not going to match. That would match. That's kind of cute. This adorable little bow. Pretty little piece of paper. That doesn't really match, but oh, I guess it does. That's kind of pretty right there. You know what? If I wanted to turn it into a tag, I could do this to reinforce. That's an idea. That's a piece of scrap tape border. I've got a pumpkin. Let's see, he is so adorable, but that covers up those pretty roses. But I could put them like right here. And a 3D heart. Ooh, that fits there. Ooh, I'm liking this. Just laying stuff on it, huh? That's a funny sticker. Actually, I could put the sticker in there. I'm not liking that part, but you know what? I do like those two. I'm going to do that because I think this is too much and that's going to get covered up anyway. So let's definitely put this on. And I will attach how to make these 3D hearts, the double layered 3D heart. I love those. All right, and I think I really do like this on there. So let's go ahead and get some glue on here. Line that up right in the middle. That's pretty. And I do like that bow. That is cute. All right, let's get one of these really sticky stickers. These suckers are sticky. That is a big sticker too, but you know what? That's okay. I wonder if I can rip off half of it. Let's try. Maybe if I do it that way. Ooh, it worked. Ho ho. Yay, I took off just a little piece of it. All right, that is cute. Alrighty, now, are there any items? I've got this. That's kind of cute. That could go in there. I could put a sticker in there, but I want to trim that up because it looks kind of shoddy right now. There, make it look better by trimming it. That's better. That's so funny. Oh, it's a Trader Joe sticker. Trader Joe sticker. That's cute. Oh, that's fun. All right, these aren't quite long enough to do. Oh, and I had a fox in there. One of my little foxes. They're so adorable. All right, I like it like this. What else will fit in there? Let's see. Oops, I've got an orange tag. Is that 2? Yep, there's 2 tags. You could definitely put a tag or 2 in there. Let's do 2. Why not? That's fun. I like that. Anything else? There's a tag from the airport. Let's see, what else can I put in there? More tags. Oh, a sticker of a lounge chair. Oh, I could put my flying pig in there. That's fun. So there's 1, 2. That's definitely long enough. That's adorable, and he's peeking out. So that's 5 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like that. All right, let's make this into a card now. That was fun. What a fun way to put together a little pocket thing. All right, orange, OP. All righty. Blue, brown, green, orange. Oops. I wonder if I could find them. They weren't in order before. That came out really cute. I like that. How fun. So somebody can use those items. Or I can just stick that inside a card for somebody. I'm enjoying that. I should bring it up closer so you can see it now. That's fun. Check that out. Isn't that cute? And made out of a book page. That is so fun. So let's take this out. We've got this tag here and this tag here. And then in here we've got a 3 crisscross flag embellishment cluster. We've got a ticket, a dancing ticket, and we've got a sticker from Trader Joe's. I keep saying it backwards, Trader Joe's, instead of, I was saying Trader's Joe, but it's Trader Joe's. There you go. And that's fun. And there's just our piece of paper, and I just put that pretty trim work on there, and I've added my 3D flower, the 2-layer flower, and then a little bow with that. I like the way that came out. That is really cute. All right, so let's make this into a card, or make a card to add this to. That would be fun. All righty. Put this there, and put this little flying pig in behind here, and he can be peeking out. That is adorable. All right, so we want to make a card for this to go on. So let's pull out a card. And we've got that. Let's see, let's go ahead and cover it with a piece of a book page. That's a great idea. Yep, that's perfect. All right, very good. Tear out the bottom. Tear out the top. That's pretty cool. And I love saving all these little bits and pieces. When I'm doing collages, that's so much fun to have those bits and pieces to use. So I'll just stick that right back in the book there. All right, make sure there's no bad words. I don't think there are. Nope, that's good. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some glue on this. Turn that over. Alrighty, where's that brush? Let's go ahead and brush some more color onto this to make it match. darker around those edges. Get it darker. All right, that's better. I like it. Come on, get up there. That's pretty color. All right, then we can put that on there. Yes, we can. That is really cute. Not too shabby. The only thing is if I want them to be able to take it off, then I'd have to put it on with maybe masking tape. Then they could pull it back off. I don't have any repositional. This was supposed to be repositional, but this stuff sucks into whatever you put it on and it clings on forever. That's really pretty. But you know what? I think it needs something else on either side to show off. Let's see what kind of lace I've got. Oh, wait. I've got these. I've got a whole stack of these. I could use that. That would work. Let's pull out 2 of these. I took a book apart before and I saved all these edges because they're like so perfectly evened with each other. And I thought, ooh, can't get rid of those, gotta save them. And I have been using them, so that's nice. I don't know, I think this is gonna be just perfect anyways. Yes, that'll be good because that'll give just a slight little contrast to it, especially if I put black along the edge there. Let's do that. Alrighty, so let's get out my skinny strips and look for black. And I have those metallic-y black ones right there. That will be perfect. That should be long enough. Are they? Yes, they are. Perfect. Alrighty, dighty. We are good. All right, so let's go ahead and glue this on first, because then we can always add the black. Just right along the edge. That's perfect. I like that. Okay, then let's do the other side. Slippery little sucker. Oh, I did all that work and it's at the very tail end of it, but that's okay. Whatevs. At least I fixed it up for me. There. That's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so let's trim that. And trim this. That's nice. And then we need those black trims. That's going to be pretty right there. Right up against the edge. All right, move this one out of the way. I want that. Oops, I'll have to use the pointier edge. That worked right away. Oh yeah. That is perfect. All right, I like that. We can trim that off. Nice. And then we can do another one on the other side. Well, that's a real pointy one. That's a fatter edge. Let's get a different one. Didn't realize I was so wide on the bottom. That one looks better. And I will attach the video on how to make these skinny strips. So I need that and then this and these. That's pretty easy. Alrighty. That looks much better. I like that. It fan-dancied it right up. Check that out. I like that. All right, we could put this little guy right back in there. Fly away, piggy, fly away. Oh, talk about my little piggy. I had the funnest time. Yesterday we went out with my daughter and 2 grandchildren, and oh, that was so much fun. We went over and we had ice cream, and we were having lunch first. And while we were in the restaurant having lunch, then these 2 little girls were sitting with their mommy, and they exclaimed about my piggy purse, and they said, "Oh, I love your piggy purse." And the one little girl said, "I collect piggies. That's so cute." And I said, "Oh my goodness, do you?" And I said, "I do too. That's so fun." And so we were talking about piggies for a couple minutes, and then it was cute because they had just gotten done and they left, and I thought, all right, that was fun to talk to them, and we thought they had left. Well, they were sitting out in the car waiting for us to come back out because she had her piggy on the car, and she was waiting for me to come back out of the restaurant so that I could see her piggy. It was so cute. So when we came out, then the mommy honked and she waved me over. And I said, "Oh, you're the piggy family." And the little girl in the back said, "Yes." And she said, "I wanted you to meet my piggy." And she held her stuffed piggy up. And I went, "Well, it's nice to meet you. It was so cute." And I said, "Hold on a minute. I've got something for both of you girls." And so I turned around, and we had parked right next to them, which was fun. And so I went over to my car, and I have piggies around in my car. So I grabbed 2 piggies and I took them over and I gave each of the girls a pig. That was so funny. Oh, they were so excited. And the one little girl, the younger girl, says, "It's Peppa Pig. I love Peppa." It was so adorable. So that was so fun. That type of stuff, it makes me high with giddiness, just high with happiness. And because I was able to just tickle their little fancies, and they enjoyed it so much. And I think I enjoyed it more than they did probably, but that's okay. But that was fun. So I had to share that with you. I like that. That's really cool. I do like this. And you know what? I think I am going to go ahead and glue it down, because if somebody wants to use this in their journal, I'll say they could either leave it and just glue it in this way, and then they could put something in here and journal in it, or they could just take the whole front piece off and just use the whole thing. So that's a neat idea. So I think I'm going to go ahead and glue it right down onto the front. Yipper. Why not? And my grandkids were just giggling at me because they know how much I love little kids, and they're teenagers now, and they're like, "Oh," and when I got back in the car, they were like, "Oh, Grandma, that was so much fun. You really enjoyed that, didn't you?" And I said, "Heck yeah." And they said, "That was really sweet of you to share your piggies with them." And I said, "Yep, I think so too." And they sure were thrilled. So my grandkids have learned to share things over the years, which is really nice, and to be free about giving things away. I like the way this came out. What do you think of that? Isn't that cool? Let me bring it up closer so you can see. And it all started out with a piece of book page. Isn't that fun? And you know what? For the inside, let's use a piece of this for the inside. Yep. Do I want to use this piece or that piece? I think I'll just go ahead and use this. Why not? All right, let's pull this back down. Actually, I think I'll just go ahead and glue it down first. Because it isn't even really white. It's because the paper's gotten so old over the years. I've had this book for years. And I got it. I forget, it was broken apart to begin with. It came without the cover. So I read the story, and then ever since I've been playing around with the bits and pieces. That's kind of cool, just like that. Or I could see if there's any more color on here and see if I can get any more. Oh, there is. There you go. Wipe off some more color. Ta-da! Voila, look how much color was left. That's pretty cool. All right, so there you go. We made a pretty neat looking card. I like that. So what do you think of that for an idea? So I hope you like this idea and you'll give it a try. Pull out some book pages, grab a piece, fold it up, see how many pockets you can fold it into, and then make it into a card. And look at all the little bits and pieces that we've used that are 1 inch or less. We've used the skinny strips, the skinny sticky strips. We've got this little piece here. We've got these borders that are about an inch wide. That is so much fun. And we've got this piece that was used with 1 inch or less bits and pieces. And then these 2 borders here. So this book edger. So I hope you like this idea and you'll give it a try. And until we meet again, happy crafting. Bye-bye.